Hey, this is Joe and Tom from Drunk Under the Sun.
Another funky funk, drunk episode coming to you, courtesy of Drunk Under the Sun.
And then your life's work could have been ahead of you.
Tom and Joe from Drunk Under the Sun.
Join us every week on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify.
Yeah. Podcast that's about anything and everything under the sun.
Check it out.
Joe's drunk.
Yeah, we both are fucking drunk.
Stop it. What up, y'all? This is Drunk Under the Sun with Joe and Tom. That's not annoying. So,
I think you got stuck.
Podcast about anything and everything under the sun. We're buffering. So, podcast, you know what it is. The YouTube show, whatever you want to call us. I don't give a fuck. So, tonight, we're going to be talking about Marvel versus DC.
Oh, shit.
Shit everybody wants to fucking hear. Because when I first thought of the concept, I did think that. I was like, man, you know what? What about Marvel DC characters that never met up and fought each other?
Yeah.
What if Deathstroke fought,
Say Wolverine, maybe.
not even Wolverine, but Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Alright.
Right? I'm like, who would win that shit? But I'm like, wait a minute. Fuck that. That could go, we could last one fucking matchup all night. Right? I'm like, it's good, but it's not good.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of doing like some comparison and some going at it. And,
Alright.
and the biggest thing to me is you wouldn't have Marvel or DC without their creators.
Okay.
So, like, what, do you think DC has more greater creators? And if so, what ones? I mean, granted, Marvel has the one and only Stan Lee, right? That's your biggest...
He's praised as like comic Jesus.
Pretty much,
you know?
right? And he only worked for Marvel.
Yeah.
But there's ones that worked for Marvel and DC.
See, that's the problem. I don't know a lot of DCs, though.
But you do. Frank Miller is one that you know.
Yeah.
Frank Miller wrote for DC.
You're right. I knew that.
And he wrote for Marvel. Because he wrote for Marvel in Daredevil. But I think he's wrote more DC stuff than he has on Marvel. Because he wrote, all the Batman shit.
Man, he's so badass, too.
One with Marvel, the creator side, and I think it's crazy because you pretty much have one guy who created their entire universe.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Not
Or at least collaborated with...
Or at least collaborate.
Somebody.
I mean, he collaborated with other creators. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, other people did create other characters. Yeah. Like, Venom was created not by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
But by Todd McFarlane and the other guy. I don't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah.
But Todd McFarlane was the artist.
Exactly.
And this other dude. But Stan Lee, pretty much, if
He
you
made
didn't have those
Spider-Man.
characters, you wouldn't have them.
Yeah.
Now, like, you jump DC side...
There's all
You didn't have one Stan Lee who created Batman, Superman, Green Lantern,
I see.
Flash. You didn't have that.
Yeah.
You had Bob Kane.
Bob Kane, yeah.
You had Jerry and the Schuster and Siegel.
Mm.
I think those. So right there, and that's what's crazy.
The only one I really know is Bob Kane. I mean, Batman.
Schuster and Siegel created Superman.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
You had no idea.
I didn't know their names.
Oh my god.
So there's three people. And Bob Kane has a badass name, so I don't know. He can go up against some people, I feel like.
I think he can stay. I think those two. I think Bob Kane and Schuster and Siegel. Actually, two of them would stand up against. That's you know what I mean.
Stan Lee.
Because honestly, those are the two top characters in DC.
Yes.
And no, everyone's not gonna. There's three. You actually have the Trinity. That's the greatest. But there was a dude who created Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It wasn't a chick. It was a dude, right? So, but he's still. I don't remember his name. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
He's but I remember Bob Kane created Batman.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So who would win? Stan Lee versus them.
That's the thing that I don't. Who has better creators?
See,
Marvel
that's
or
the
DC?
thing. I don't.
And here's also what's crazy about that is I think in the end DC is gonna have more. But I think DC wins this topic. And the reason I think this is because I think in the end DC has more creators that are great than Marvel does.
Right.
Okay, and half of it is because they jump ship. Jim Lee.
Yeah,
one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He runs DC shit over there, right?
He was Marvel.
Came from Marvel.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So he started off there.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby, one of the greatest artists of comic books. Yeah. Right? Started off with Stan Lee in Marvel. He went to DC, created New Gods and Darkseid.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I think in this category, I think DC wins.
DC
is because they have more.
They do. You're right. They do seem to have more creators. Stan Lee can't beat them all.
You can't beat them all. And because without Alan Moore over at DC writing for DC, you don't have the Watchmen.
Oh yeah, wow.
You have V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
That was all DC lines. You know, fucking Denny O'Neil. You don't have him. You have the great Batman storylines.
Yeah.
Denny O'Neil created all these great Batman storylines. One of the greatest. Of course, you have Frank Miller at DC, but without Marvel, you don't have Frank Miller.
Exactly.
Because they gave him a shot.
Yeah.
Now, what Marvel has above DC in that line, in my opinion, Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane's back because he did.
He wrote. He wrote and drew for Marvel.
Yeah, I know that.
He did not for DC.
Oh, okay.
He didn't do anything for DC.
No, he was Image.
He created Image.
That's
and
right.
he never did any other shit again. So DC don't have that.
Yeah.
Where Marvel can negate, like you can negate, I think, a few of these just because they started off in Marvel.
Yeah.
So maybe you could, but like Jack Kirby created his greatest works at DC.
Oh.
He created great works at Marvel. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He created like the New Gods. He did the storyline of that.
Okay.
Shit.
So when it comes
Besides
to that battle, maybe we should choose it like where did their best work come from, not where they started. Like where did they do?
But you
their
could
best
argue
work?
that with Frank Miller. His Daredevil shit is
It's
bad
badass.
as fuck. I own it.
Yeah.
Bad as fuck.
But so is
But his Batman shit is bad as fuck too. I own that shit too.
what was 300? Is that DC too?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
actually no. I think it is.
Okay.
DC's either that or Dark Horse.
It
One
might
of
be
the two.
Dark Horse.
Might be Dark Horse because I know Sin City is Dark Horse.
Yeah. Man,
And Frank Miller
Jesus.
did that.
He's up to so many good things. Yeah.
He did Sin City, but that's not Marvel or DC. That was
No.
Dark Horse.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I
Graham
think you're right.
Nolan over at DC. Graham Nolan created Bane.
I think
Created him. He
I
didn't
think
just
I
drew
think you're
him.
right.
Did him.
I think you're right. I think
DC's
DC
got it.
probably does win that.
I think that one DC. It goes to DC.
But does one of their guys stack up against what Stan Lee did?
I think so, and I think two of them stack up to at least five. At least five. I would put Batman and Superman against. I guarantee you, those two characters are more popular. The only one that would rival them in Marvel. I say one character rivals them at Marvel. Because all the generational gaps.
Yeah.
Because the reason I say Batman and Superman are so good, because all the generational gaps. All generations love those two characters.
Yeah.
Not just one here, not just one here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
kids from the 50s didn't just like them, and then the 60 kids didn't like them.
Yeah.
You know, you had these. So, Batman and Superman. And the one I think that stands against him in Marvel
Okay.
is Spider-Man.
Okay, because everybody knows Spider-Man.
Everybody loves Spider-Man.
Yep. Yeah,
Not
because-
everybody down that line loves Thor or Hulk or, you know.
You're right.
The people from the 70s are going to like Hulk more than the kids from like the fucking 60s because the TV series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So okay, you pit. Man, that is lopsided. Spider-Man can put up a fight,
Spider-Man
like
could
in a fight.
In a fight, Spider-Man would be able to handle. I think he would lose to Batman and Superman, but I think he could take them on.
Yeah.
I think he would lose, but in the end he would take them on.
I could agree with that. Yeah, he could. See, that's the thing. Like, it's like any given Sunday when it comes to this type of thing.
When it comes to that, yes, but that's why I broke it down this way.
Yeah.
This way is so much different.
Yeah.
Because now you're seeing why, who created Spider-Man? Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Who created Batman and Superman?
Yeah.
Three guys from DC.
Yeah.
Huh, that's 3 against 1.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So I see that. Yeah.
Or 2 against 1, whichever one you can do it.
Yeah.
So I think, and like I said, Frank Miller jumped over the DC.
Yeah.
A lot of his great work was in DC.
Yeah.
But his great work in Marvel too.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
Jack Kirby, same way.
That's a tough one.
That's why I think DC wins. Because in the end, Alan Moore, I don't know if Alan Moore ever wrote for Marvel. And, and a lot of people are like, why are you limiting only these people? Well, one, because these are the greatest ones, I think. Alan Moore is one of the greatest writers in comics.
Because it's very opinion based, though, too.
Well, it
because
is.
other people are going to like
it's what
him
you like,
in some way.
but it also goes with numbers on this shit too, because the comics have sold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Frank Miller's Dark Knight
Yeah.
has sold more than, let's say, fucking the Sabretooth first original copy I own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all. His shit's more than that. So that's also telling it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Man.
That is
Well,
fuck,
so
man.
DC wins that battle.
I think DC does win that battle.
That's a... What about character versus character, though?
Now, see, I have something like that, but I think we should save that to the end.
Okay.
Because that's more all of this is opinion based.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, and people go, and this is the biggest problem with Marvel DC now, is the movies, right? And I didn't put movies on here because, yes, obviously,
it's very one-sided.
But throughout the years,
yeah,
I think DC has stood its ground against it, but it's very lopsided since 2005.
Yeah.
So since 2005, it's Marvel all the way.
Yeah.
Right? But people forget Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
People forget the first Man of Steel.
Yeah.
People forget the original Superman 2.
Yeah.
People forget the Keatons.
Yeah.
Batmans.
Yeah.
People forget this West's Batman. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
DC has held their shit, but they just haven't been able to put that universe that Marvel did so well.
Because they're trying to play catch up and they're rushing.
Yeah, and we've talked about that previously, and that's why I didn't bring up the movies, because why is not Marvel versus DC in movies? Because whatever. Okay, so you got 10 years, a solid 10 years running, right?
Yeah.
Superman came out in 1977.
Yeah.
I guess DC wins if the longevity, because they're still relevant, right? Yep. The Marvel movies that were back then sucked ass.
Oh yeah.
Captain America's? Have you seen those?
I saw one.
Like in the 70s?
Not that old.
Fucking awful. Well, there's one in the 90s.
That one.
Fucking awful.
It's not awful.
It's awful.
No, it's not.
I think it had the dude who played the Flash.
I think you're right. I think
played the Flash in the original Flash TV series, which I loved.
Yeah.
But it didn't have no villains that were worth a fuck. It was only the Flash taking up crime bank robbers. It's like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? Like, where's Professor Zoom? Where's fucking Thawne at?
Yeah, I remember that, but I loved it too.
I loved it too. But yeah, movies. That's why I didn't pick.
It is.
Now, what I also did fuck with is who has the better teams. And on that one, I think that one's tied.
You think it's tied?
And because it does. Because in my opinion, the only team in Marvel I really give a fuck about, and I'll only ever have, is X-Men.
Yeah, same here.
Right?
Same here.
Like, I like the Avengers in the movies, but I like a few of them more than the others.
Yeah. There's some
and you're always going to have that in teams.
Yeah.
But I like the X-Men. I think the X-Men will whoop the fuck out of the Avengers.
I think so, too.
I
think the only one that really stands up, well, I don't know, because Hulk and Thor.
I think Thor can be beat up, dude. Thor can be beat up by fucking Colossus, I feel, man. I'm sorry. So? I think people have been misguided by the movies, and Thor and all them have been given more powers than they think they should have. And the X-Men are way better. Bunch of propaganda around Thor and the Avengers. The X-Men are way better. But no, I mean, I like the Avengers, don't get me wrong.
No, yeah.
But I like the X-Men more.
I do too.
But out of Marvel, there's a lot more teams that I like out of Marvel than I do DC.
I only know one DC, and that's Justice League.
Justice League.
That's it.
But then you have the Titans.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the Teen Titans and then the just regular Titans.
Yeah.
Those are cool because you had Nightwing in them and fucking Kid
because
Flash
they're like mirror images.
Mirror images of Justice League.
Yeah.
So, but they're a little. But when they break it, when they do them their own selves, they're different than the Justice League.
Yeah.
Like Nightwing's totally different than Batman, which he should be.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it is the mirror images aren't really the mirror images. They're fucking the reverse mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But
when it coin shit.
But when it comes to that, those are basically the only three that I know. Is those teams. Now I know X-Force, Excalibur, X-Men, Avengers, X-Factor.
But the problem with the X's is most of them have been either X-Men
they're like
or
affiliated.
Yeah, they're a family.
Yeah, it's just
it's like the Batman family. You associate Red Hood.
But they're still different. There is still core elements that stay the same though.
There are.
Yeah.
There are, but you still have ones that were either X. I mean, granted, they're badass teams.
Yeah.
Because
they're different variations of basically the same thing.
Of characters you like.
Yeah.
But they don't have time for those. But yeah, that's why I think and you just mentioned three that I forgot about. I forgot about X Factor, X Force, and Excalibur. I forgot about those teams, and those are badass teams.
Yeah.
Fucking in DC, yeah, you're right. The only ones I really remember is Justice League, Titans. I put down Red Hood and the Outlaws, but that's like a newer team, and it's not really a team. It's kind of like a Suicide Squad thing.
Yeah, I mean that work. That's
a team.
I would include it.
You could put Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I would put those in then too. Red Hood.
But I don't like the Suicide Squad as much. Exactly. No, I would. And that was one of the ones I was going to mention as a team in Marvel is Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Because Sinister Six is a badass team.
Oh yeah.
And that's a bad. That's. I think they got more. I
think the
Marvel,
team. I think Marvel does. We should do a tally. So it's 1 versus 1 now. So DC's won the creators.
Yeah.
Marvel's won the teams.
The teams.
All right.
And I think that's. I mean, it stands. I mean, I think the X-Men. Honestly, as much as I love to see the problem with that though,
Batman's the Justice League
is like on paper.
Yeah.
I think the X-Men would beat the Avengers.
Yeah.
But I think the Justice League would beat both of them.
Ooh, you're probably right.
Like in the end, because you got to think.
You're probably right because you got Superman, Batman,
Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter. It's like these dudes would fuck up Wolverine.
These are like all headliners.
You got a bunch of B guys coming up
with Wolverine.
With Wolverine. It's like fuck. So as much as I think they have better like as them having teams, Marvel wins. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because they got better They got better
quality teams.
DC's got one, and it whoops all of their asses. Yeah. But I still think Marvel wins that category just because they got more teams that I like. Yeah. You know, because I don't like I don't like the Teen Titans. Yeah. I like the original Teen Titans. I like. Yeah. I don't like the newer shit with fucking all the other ones. But you know, and I don't like the Legion of Superheroes. I don't really get it.
I don't even know what that is.
They're from the future and shit. And they first appeared in Superman. Actually, Superboy.
From the future.
Yeah. They came from the future, and because what they traveled and they met Superboy, which is Clark Kent as a kid. Okay. When this wasn't the clone Superboy. This was Superboy Clark Kent as a kid. Okay, right? Okay. So they came to him and they said, "You're going to be this great superhero." Blah blah blah. They worshipped and all this shit, and they're from like. Fucking 1,000 years in the future. Oh, wow. And that's what this team is about. That's Legion of Superheroes.
Mm-hmm. Never heard of them. That's weird. They already lost it. Rocket Raccoon. And what's
the Guardians? Yeah, see, I was going to say that, but I never liked the Guardians until the movie. Yeah. I didn't give a fuck about the Guardians.
Yeah, I didn't either. Nobody did.
So that's why I didn't include them.
Not anybody. Nobody did.
The movies is the shit.
Nobody even knew who they were until the movies came out.
And they've had a few variations, Yeah. But yeah, I think that one Marvel wins. Yeah, because they got more. Because, like you said, X Factor I like. Mm-hmm. I like the X Factors when it was the original X-Men. Yeah. I like the X Factors where it's Havoc and all that.
Yeah.
And
and the X-Force with
Cable and
isn't Deadpool part of that now?
He is, yeah. It's
yeah.
Anyways, I don't like Deadpool fan. I like Deadpool's movies. Don't get me wrong. I like both those movies, but I'm not a Deadpool fan. So all right. So that one on this. Ding ding boxing. We're at 17 minutes already. Marvel's got one. DC's got one.
Oh shit! So what's the next category?
So the next one, you're gonna like this one. I think a lot of people are. Who has the best, greatest rivalry?
Thanks for tuning in to Drunk on the Sun. This is Joe and Tom.
Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody. Like and subscribe.
Thank you all for subscribing and liking. From Drunk on the Sun, the podcast about everything and anything under the sun. So check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram. We're posting new shit every week.
See ya.